Okie dokie dokie. Okay, so this is my Jonsered 2258. I have ported and polished this thing. The porting, all the port work was done by just doing a base gasket removal, and I did almost nothing else. I think I raised that exhaust roof just a hair, and I don't think I did anything to the... Nah, I'd have to go back and look at my numbers, but I do remember that basically it was nothing but lower transfer work. I just opened it up a little bit, made it get in there easier. That's really all I did with the porting. It is running one of my hammerhead pipes, and I have been suspicious about my port job on this shortly after I did it. Immediately, whenever I did it, I was pretty happy, but then I just started doubting myself a lot. And I'm wanting this thing to run the way a 562 XP runs, ported, okay? And I don't think that I'm going to be able to get there with the 258 coil and carburetor setup. I think this thing is definitely going to require the upgraded components from a 562 XP. I mean, it already has the air filter set up on it. Thing looks gorgeous. Look at this. It's got the 562 recoil starter as well, dyed black, and I got a custom graphic on there. It's freaking nice. Has a 562 wraparound handle. So at minimum, I'm going to be taking and putting the 562 coil and carburetor on this saw at minimum. I'll probably go ahead and use that cylinder and port it up again and cut the squish and do it real nice as well. But let's go ahead and put this in the wood, and we'll see how close it is to a bone stock, brand new, fresh 562 XP. I think the 562 XP is going to beat it. I just ran it, and it feels stronger than this. That felt really fast. I mean, really, really nice. The oil's not getting to my chain because I'm using a modified bar. Ugh. I'm going through with it. There'll be more tests in the future. But yeah, what it is because of those captive bar nuts. Those captive bar nuts, whenever I modified this bar to work on both small mount Husky and the KO41 mount, which means you need to cut a slot in the bar tensioning holes. Well, that's never been an issue with me, but this was the first saw I ever had with retention, the bar nuts that don't fall out. Well, I can't remember, captured bar nuts, that's what they're called. And so because of those captured bar nuts, there's holes in this side cover that wouldn't normally be there, which means my oil isn't properly going to the chain. Now it's not super hot and I can still move it, but that was causing a drag. It's not a perfect test. But it does feel like that brand new, never been touched 562 XP is at least as strong as this, probably stronger. Which tells me everything I need to know. I need to upgrade this with those 562 XP parts. So anyways, yeah. That's a bummer about that. I mean, even if I was to go back right now and swap this bar for something else, the wood is changing. It's, I'd have to do them both back to back again, and I ain't going to do that. There'll be more tests to come, and I'll get it right. But for now, I mean, it still is a great saw. I mean, you see it clearly, it runs good, it cuts good. But I just want this saw in particular to be as good as it can be because I really like it. It's awesome. It runs so smooth, it feels so good. It looks killer. Gosh, that's just like the best looking chainsaw on the planet. That is such a good looking chainsaw to me. So I just want this thing to be just all it can be. And I don't think that it can be that unless I swap on the 562 XP parts. Now, if you're asking yourself, well, why didn't he just buy the coil and the carburetor, the 562 XP stuff, and swap them on there? That's silly. He went and bought a brand new 562 XP. Yeah, it is silly, downright stupid. I've got a problem. I've got a problem. But it'll all work out because in the end, whatever happens, I'll take the parts off of here, put on the 562, and, be transparent. Hey, here's what you're getting. And because of this, you're getting a less, you're saving a lot of money kind of thing. Or I might just take that 562 XP and part it out. I can make back my money parting it out probably. So, yeah, there's that. Woo. All right, well, this has been this video. All right, so, I mean, I thought about not doing this, thought about not using that footage, but, stuff like this is part of the fun. On race day, if you show up and you're bar isn't getting oil like it should, then you lose the race. That's life. That's how it goes sometimes. So I decided to keep it in there. Now, I will say that I think that those two are pretty darn evenly matched. However, the 2258, I believe, would beat it if the chain had been oiled properly. Because even the slightest amount of drag, you could see how tight that was whenever I was trying to turn it. The slightest amount of drag is gonna make a difference. It's gonna make a difference. So, anyways, it was disappointing, to say the least. I think I'll probably go ahead and today. I don't need to run a different bar. All I need to do is take the bar that's on there. I have a plate that goes over the front side of it. You know, the side that's the outside of the bar. That way, any oil that makes it into those chain tensioning holes, right? Any oil that goes in there gets forced up to the chain. So normally the clutch cover itself does that. On all other, you know, like my 2252, it's normally not a problem. But on this saw, because of those captive bar nuts, there's holes in the clutch cover that normally aren't there, and the oil just weeps through. And so the bar was getting a little bit of oil. That's why it took so long for that chain to heat up. But by the time I was doing the actual speed cuts, the one in the smaller log, oh well. But yeah, I need to do a proper test between it, the Jonsered 2258 and the Husqvarna 562. That way we know what the difference is between the two. I'm betting that if I just swap over the coil and the carburetor, that 2258 will be so much faster than it is. Because, I mean, everybody knows it's held back. It's held back in the same manner that the 590 is held back over the 620. But I think it's even more so in this case. But I don't know if I'll go all the way through with the swapping out the crank stuffers, or the crankshaft for the crank with the crank stuffers. I've got a couple people telling me that it'll swap over, but I am not 100% positive. And it's like, do I want to break down 2 of these chainsaws to be proven wrong? I need somebody that's done it before, that I know, that can personally tell me that it'll work. Anyways, that's enough for this video, and more to come.